After the fight, Alex went into the ring to interview some of the principals involved in this controversy. He began with referee Randy Newman, and Alex Wallow's question to referee Newman was, why'd you stop the fight?
Well, he got up very slowly. He was shaking when he got up, so I was suspicious to begin with. At 8, he just made it up, and he was leaning against the ropes. I asked him a question, not so much for the answer, but to see how he'd answer. There was no answer. And I said, again, how are you? The eyes were blank, the stare was there, and the man is concussed.
Well, obviously, if I was dazed and I had just been down, I had to collect myself, and I got up, and that's what I did. I collected myself. And all of a sudden, Randy said, that was it. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know what the hell is going on, Alex. I don't know if they're setting things up or what's going on, you know?
There was nobody there as close as I was to him, and those that saw it saw that blank stare. So what he says now, he's a hurt fighter. I mean, he's paid to stay awake in there, and he wasn't.
If you're going to referee a bout of this magnitude in the heavyweight division, you should know some of the behavior of both people. Carl has been down in the past, hit harder than he was hit tonight by Mike Weaver. Got up 3 times. In this case, 1 time, unprecedented. The referee hit a panic button. He was incompetent for this particular fight, and I like that referee.
I've been down before, and I've gotten up and knocked people out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an inexperience of the referee. I don't know how it's going to go now. You know.
In your mind, Carl the Truth Williams was ready to continue?
Oh, without question. Without question. I mean, I wasn't even hurt. You're talking about a flash knockdown. I've been hit hard in the gym.
Well, Alex, since the fight has ended, I have not yet seen anything to change my mind. I thought Williams should have been allowed to continue to fight.
Dan, I thought Randy Newman should have allowed Carl to come out, watch him very carefully. If he didn't react to the first punch, jump in and stop it. But I don't think it changed the outcome of the fight. I really think it was just a matter of time. Michael, were you surprised the referee stopped the fight at that point?
Well, at that particular time, I hit him with a good punch, but I expected him to get up like he did, and the fight would be continued. You know, I really personally would have loved to land a couple of more solid shots.
Well, let's go back and take a look, Mike, and you described the action in your own words of what took place, beginning with the bell in round 1. Were you surprised that Williams didn't run more, that he was as aggressive and unintimidated as he was?
Well, you know, in a situation like this, it's sometimes it's either, I believe when you're totally nervous, it's either 2 things you're going to do. You're going to run and hold, or else you're just going to use all that nervous energy and fight like hell.
Were you happy when he came out to fight you?
Well, I knew it would just be a matter of time. And even if he ran, it was just been a matter of time because I was prepared to cut the ring and everything off.
Had you prepared the combination that you used for the knockout, had you worked on that in camp?
Absolutely. And as you can see right here, at the beginning he was throwing the jab very quick, and I wasn't getting hit, but you know I wasn't able to connect. So that's why I was constantly thinking about putting the pressure on him, and I was waiting for an opportunity to land a clear shot. I was watching his right hand mostly, and I was watching he would drop it to throw the uppercut, but I was slipping the uppercut, and I would say any minute I'm going to be able to catch him, and I knew that's the punch I'm going to hit with the left hook. Because right now I'm going to say I have to take a punch, so I'm bracing myself at all times. I said I'm going to have to take a stiff jab, and so I braced myself, and I was anticipating any hard punches, so I wasn't going to be hurt. Like right here, boom, I took the punch, and I knew he was going to try it again. So I had everything close.
Third, Carl Williams struggles to get up, sags once. The referee's up to 7, 8. He's up around 7. The eyes don't look good enough to satisfy Randy Newman, and he stopped it. What's going through your mind right there, Mike?
He's talked all this junk for this. And as you can see right there, I anticipated the punch. He's dropping the hand. I'm beating him to the punch. He's getting ready to throw an uppercut. And I just love doing something like that because that means not only did, you know what I mean, you beat a man, you outthought him. And I outthought him in this fight because I was beating him to the punch.
Mike, you won the fight so easily. Is there a challenge out there for you right now, enough to get you to be the best fighter you can be, to reach your full potential as a fighter?
I'm always in shape to go 20, 15, whatever rounds. I just like it when they're easy like that.
But when you go back into the gym now for your next fight, your trainers are going to try to get you to do certain things. In the back of your mind, are you going to be saying to yourself, what do I need all this technique for? I can just go out there and knock guys' heads off.
I never think that like that. I always think the person that prepared is the one who's prepared for the unexpected. I'm always in great shape, ready to go, like I said, 15 or 20 rounds. But I prefer them to end in 1 round. But I'm always ready.
Deep, deep down, do you consider yourself indestructible?
not indestructible, but I know everyone has their day. Lewis had his day, Ali had his time, and in that small increment of time, when you're on top, you're unbeatable.
Your old trainer, Customato, used to say, boxing is not just a case of physical strength, it's a test of character. Do you have the character right now in your mind to be a great champion?
By no means, you know, I'm not saying that I'm a great champion. Put myself in the category with Lewis and Ali and Marciano and all those great fighters, but I'm just saying, for my time, you know what I mean, I can dish it as well as take it also.
We've talked about your boxing. In terms of you as a person, how has all the craziness involving your personal life changed you over the last 18 months?
You know what I mean, just, you become quite leery, and you know what I mean, you don't look for favors. I'm really comfortable with myself. I'm really into myself.
Do you care about your public image?
I mean, to a certain extent, but you know, if I was just some poor, I always think about if I was some poor, broke slob, very unhappy, nobody would ever bother me. Everybody would be satisfied. I believe it's just when you're happy and you're living at a, I'm happy, let me say, I'm happy, I'm rich, and I don't let anything bother me. And that makes people uncomfortable.
When we return, we're going to meet the #1 heavyweight contender out there, joining us from Atlanta, Evander, the real deal, Holyfield. 2 weeks ago, Evander Holyfield fought and knocked out a journeyman heavyweight from Brazil by the name of Adelson Rodriguez. And Mike, you've known Evander ever since 1984 when the two of you were competing for a spot on the U.S. Olympic boxing squad. And I know you follow the competition. What are your impressions of Holyfield since he's turned professional?
Well, I think the progress has been tremendous. He's came up with, in a short period of time, with a limited amount of fights and accomplished what he did. That's tremendous.
Mike Tyson. Let's go back 2 weeks and look at the action in that fight between Adelson Rodriguez and Evander Holyfield. In round one, Rodriguez actually won the round, I thought. He got off first, he beat Evander to the punch. Evander normally a slow starter, but in round two, Evander Holyfield started to get the range. Let's pick up the action seconds before the bell for round two. As you see, Holyfield and there Rodriguez, and the bell there for round two.
You notice here, Rodriguez, after winning that first round, ran out very confident. And Evander came out here throwing his jab, threw a very good left hook to the body. And you see right now, Mr. Rodriguez is coming off, throwing a little bit of combination here.
When you watch a fight like this, Mike, do you put yourself in the place and try to think of how you would fight than Evander Holyfield?
Not at all. Not at all. When I watch fighters fight and I see a fighter takes a bad beat and I know I have to face one of those fighters one day, the winner, it never affects me. It affects it. I know I'm not that fighter.
Here you see Evander jabbing. Right here you see a more typical Evander Holyfield as he turns his man into the ropes, and now no jabs, just power punches with both hands. Keeps his man there, sits on him, and lets go.
You know, I mean, he does it very well. I'm trying to think of a fighter he reminds me of, like an old-time fighter. He can't come to mind. That was a good uppercut left hook there.
And
boom, and set him up. I love these kind of shots. Hit him clean. You can tell he's in pain because, you know, he's running on his face.
Adelson Rodriguez laid in the canvas for a full 3 minutes before he was revived. Mike, let's take a look at, in slow motion, that single perfect knockout punch.
Bang, beat him to the punch, right over his jab. Took his equilibrium away from him right away.
And one final angle, the right hand right on the temple.
Boom, perfect shot.
Are you impressed?
Very much so.
Joining us now in Atlanta is Evander Holyfield, the #1 WBA and WBC contender. Evander, first of all, your reaction to your own performance.
Well, I felt that I fought a smart fight. I was able to outthink Rodriguez in that last round. I was able to make him make mistakes and was able to counter and capitalize on the opportunity, which I was able to catch with the overhand right.
A lot of us thought that the good news of that fight, Evander, was the power that you showed, the single knockout punch. You still did get hit some punches from an Adelson Rodriguez. Did that defense bother you?
But not at all. I think every fighter get hit. The most important thing, he wasn't hitting me with punishing punches. I was able to slip a lot of them, and I was at the end of the punch a a lot of his punches. He had a good jab, what impressed me mostly about him.
You weighed 207 pounds for that fight. You've had 4 fights as a heavyweight. Are you ready to move up, in your mind, are you ready to move up at this time with that little experience as a heavyweight and fight a Mike Tyson?
Well, I feel that I have more than just 4 fights experience. I've been boxing for 18 years. And yes, I feel that I am ready for Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, after the fight, you ran right over to the ropes and started taunting Evander Holyfield through the ropes. You said you'd fight him in 2 weeks. If that's so and he wants to fight you, why isn't that fight taking place?
Well, I'm sure he has some problems with his management, or else Mr. Sanders and Don King have to, do some kind of negotiation. By no means, he's a great fighter, but I don't think anyone can beat me.
But would you like to fight him next if you could pick it?
Absolutely.
Mike, not Evander himself, but some of Evander Holyfield's handlers say that the reason they're so anxious for this fight to take place right away is they feel that you're so wild outside the ring that you could self-destruct at any moment, and they're afraid the fight might never take place if it doesn't take place right away. What is your reaction to those kinds of statements?
Well, I heard he has this redneck manager, Mr. Sanders, and he has such a big mouth and talks so much stuff, you know what I mean? But then again, it's always common for someone who's never risking their neck or their blood to talk, so boastfully. But, regardless, if they feel that he's the best fighter, matter of fact, maybe we won't fight for another year if they feel that, and we'll just see what happens to me.
If you don't fight for another year, what will you do between now and 1990?
Continue to fight.
Do you have any idea of your next...